Welcome to Vamshi Recaps. The First Omen is a 2024 American supernatural horror film directed by Arkasha Stevenson, who co-wrote the screenplay with Tim Smith and Keith Thomas from a story by Ben Jacoby. It is a prequel to The Omen 1976 and the sixth film in the Omen franchise. The film stars Nell Tigerfree, Tawfiq Barham, Sonia Braga, Ralph Ineson, and Bill Nighy. The plot follows an American nun sent to work at a Catholic orphanage in Rome who uncovers a sinister conspiracy to bring about the birth of the Antichrist. Father Brennan presses Father Harris about an occult conspiracy. Harris gives him a photograph of a baby with the name Shanna inscribed. Harris is killed when a falling pipe splits his head open. In Rome, 1971, amid political protests, American novitiate Margaret Dano arrives at the Vizzardelli orphanage. She meets Cardinal Lawrence, Father Gabriel, Aba's sister Silva, Nun Angelica, and her roommate and fellow novitiate Luz. Luz invites Margaret to a disco, where they meet two men. Margaret dances with the man named Paolo before blacking out. She awakens the next day with no memory of what happened. Margaret bonds with the mistreated orphan Carlita, who is plagued by bad visions. Father Brennan warns her about Carlita, saying evil things will happen. She spots Carlita showing Angelica a drawing of a pregnant woman being restrained. Moments later, Angelica self-immolates and hangs herself. Brennan explains that radicals within the church, desperate to regain power against the rise of secularism, seek to bring about the Antichrist to create fear and drive people back to the church, with Carlita intended to be his mother. During a field trip, a riot breaks out and Margaret experiences demonic hallucinations. Sister Silva postpones Margaret's vows and orders her to distance herself from Carlita. She runs into Paolo. Horrified, he tells her to look for the mark before being struck and killed by an oncoming truck. In Sister Silva's office, Margaret uncovers a hidden, underground chamber and a series of subject files, all labeled Shanna. They contain photos of dysmorphic babies, all with a birthmark in the shape of 3 6s, with Carlita as the only survivor. Margaret attempts to flee with Carlita, but is intercepted and spots the mark on Carlita's palate before being imprisoned. Father Gabriel frees Margaret. As they examine the files with Brennan, they discover that another baby had survived. Margaret locates the mark on her own scalp and suddenly remembers that she was forcefully impregnated in a satanic ritual the night she blacked out at the disco. They come to realize that the orphanage leaders have determined that the devil will need to mate with his own spawn in order to conceive the Antichrist, and Margaret had been brought to Rome as her half-sister Carlita was too young. The group drives off to have the pregnancy aborted, but another car crashes into theirs on the way, and Margaret's womb suddenly fills. She awakens strapped to a hospital bed and is greeted by Cardinal Lawrence, the head of the conspiracy. Cardinal Lawrence and the other conspirators watch as she gives birth to 2 children via cesarean, a girl and a boy. The latter is hailed as the Antichrist. Luz and the man who was with Paolo at the disco are revealed to be among the conspirators. Margaret stabs Lawrence, but cannot bring herself to kill her son. Luz stabs Margaret as the conspirators flee with the boy and set the chamber ablaze to cover their tracks. Carlita saves Margaret and her daughter, and Margaret sees a demonic jackal in the flames. The baby boy is given to American diplomat Robert Thorn to secretly replace the child his wife Catherine has supposedly miscarried. Years later, Margaret lives secluded in the mountains with Carlita and her daughter, now a happy family. Brennan visits and warns that the conspirators will be hunting her, and that her son has been named Damien. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, leave a like, subscribe, and hit notifications to get all the new movie updates. Feel free to leave a comment below.